What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling United We Stand 2019, the show from April 4th, 2019. They were at Rathway, New Jersey. They were in the venue of Rathway Recreation Center, and under the promotion of Impact Wrestling, will also feature the stars from AAA, MLW, Lucha Underground, and I'm trying to remember the other one. I can't remember the other one, but and I'm sorry about the darkness. But anyways, let's get back out of the darkness, and let's get to this pay-per-view. Before I do, I just wanted to first of all, when I did the preview, first of all, I want to apologize to anyone that didn't get to watch this on Twitch TV on that day. Is because when I first got the information, I thought it was going to be free on Twitch TV to watch, this event. But apparently it was also an pay-per-view that you basically order it on, basically watch it on Fight TV, which you got to pay for. So about it, I got the other one too here now. It's your promotion was Dragon Gate and WrestlePro. So there you go. But yeah, back to what I was gonna say. Basically, after the preview, I was told by looking at the ad, the first poster ad I saw for Impact Wrestling United We Stand was gonna be live on Twitch TV. So when I click onto the video, I saw RVD. I thought to myself, wait a minute, I thought that was gonna be the main event. I say to myself, or maybe they decided to get that out of the way first, maybe, and so I click on it, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't. It was just RVD versus Sabu back in I believe it was 2010. When they did at the time it was called TNA, called Hardcore Revolution. Hardcore Justice, I meant to say. So I want to apologize for the wrong information there. I wasn't. I didn't. I thought it was gonna be on Twitch TV on that day, and unfortunately it wasn't. But it should be on Twitch TV now, since the pay-per-view has not got out of the way. And as far as the show was, let's get to it. Impact Wrestling United We Stand. The show itself, let's get to it. The opening match was for the Ultimate X match for a future Exhibition Championship match against Rich Swann, or whoever won the Exhibition Championship match, which, by the way, I'll get to later on. And the participants were Austin Ace, Daga, Dante Fox, I meant to say, excuse me. I was going to say Daga, but Daga's in the other match, I meant to say. Jay Christ, Pat Buck, and Johnny Impact. And there was supposed to be another guy in there too. I forgot who it was, but unfortunately he was unable to show up. He had to show up at another event, so unfortunately he didn't get to show up there. So it ends up being just 5 guys in the match instead. But that being said, as far as this match was, it was solid. There was some cool spots in the match, like Austin Ace dove off of the that structure to everyone else, and basically Johnny Impact wins the match. I see myself, really? Johnny Impact? Why? He's the Impact World Champion. Why is he winning this match? Why does he need to go to the Exhibition Championship? Why did he need to be in the match? Why did he have to win this Ultimate X match? I don't fucking get it. This was some bullshit. Speaking of other bullshit, let's get to the next match. The next match featured Team Lucha Underground, which is Aerostar, Daga, Drago, and Mario the Mark Martinez working as a team, working as a unit versus the team, basically Team Impact, which is Brian Cage, Eddie Edwards, Moose, and, well, here's the thing. Originally, it was supposed to be joining Impact, but joining Impact did not want to team up with Brian Cage, and that was a story that they did, and they did a segment with this backstage too as well, with Moose, Brian Cage, and Eddie Edwards. And I thought it was gonna be Eli Drake being in this being the mystery part, the mystery participant. But then to find out what happened with Eli Drake during this time, about finding out what really happened with Eli Drake, why he wasn't on the show. I'll get to that momentarily when I get to that one match that he was supposed to be in, but I'll get to that later. So we're waiting to see who's being part of Team Impact with Eli Drake. I mean with Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Brian Cage, and as a being the Intervailer of Violence, Tommy Dreamer. Now the match itself, it was solid too. And then Moose decides to turn on his team. And I'm saying to myself, what is with Impact Wrestling's obsession of having wrestlers from Impact Wrestling to turn on their own teammates? I remember they did with Eli Drake portraying Eddie Edwards in that one when it was Team Impact versus Team AAA for the World Cup that they did from this, I forgot what they call it. I think it was Uncaged. But and now here we are in the same situation here again, where they're doing it again. I don't get it, and that also fortunately that cost them. Lucha, I would say unfortunately, but fortunately I wanted Team Lucha Underground to win, and they did, because at least they were working as a team. Team Impact, they were not working as a team, which I thought was so fucking stupid. Impact Wrestling needs to get their shit together. They really need to get their shit together. That made no fucking sense at all. So yeah, Team Lucha Underground won, and that's good. Which by the way, that was the whole team Lucha Underground versus Team Impact was an 8-man tag team match. Then we get to a 4-way match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Taya Valkyrie defends her Knockouts title against Jordan Grace versus Katie Forbes versus Rosemary. Match itself, let me just say this: Rosemary, she didn't work that much in the ring, but she did I thought she did decent in the match. Jordan Grace, she was a beast. Taya Valkyrie, then Taya Valkyrie, obviously sloppy, not doing anything good. Katie Forbes, who's the girlfriend of Rob Van Dam. It's my first time seeing her wrestle. What I can say is that she's got a big booty. She's got big boobs. She's pretty. She's got tattoos on her arm, and I think on her arms too, but all that. But she's got a good body. She looks like she could be be doing a lot of twerking based on how she did it too and all. But as far as her wrestling, I mean, she's athletic. She was doing some athletic things and all, like a cartwheel, a backflip. I think she did a backflip if I'm not mistaken. But I wasn't that impressed with her wrestling. But I can say this one thing. I thought she was doing a better job in the ring than Taya Valkyrie was. So Rosemary was distracted by Su Yung. Su Yung comes out, and then Rosemary and Su Yung starts fighting. Well, a way to protect Rosemary, and then also a way to protect Jordan Grace. So what happened? So Jordan Grace goes for the Grace driver onto Katie Forbes. Taya Valkyrie throws Jordan Grace out of the ring, only to capitalize on the pin onto Katie Forbes and gets the win. So I knew right there that basically I knew Taya Valkyrie was going to win the match anyways, but it is what it is, I guess. So. As far as the match was, it was solid too. Another solid match. Then we get to a tag team match that will feature LAX, which is Santana and Ortiz, being accompanied by Conan versus. Now let me try to pronounce this here. Promo Dorado. I think that's how I pronounce it, but I could be wrong. But I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right. But basically, it's a tag team known as Loki and Ricky Martinez. And the match itself, I thought it was pretty good. A pretty good tag team match. It was basically and there was a segment too, by the way, where it pertains to LAX, talking about Loki. And and the match was ends up being pretty good. LAX ends up winning the match, you know, which I wanted them to win either way. So I got what I wanted there. So there you go. All right. The next match is the intergender match between Tessa Blanchard versus Joey Ryan. And before I get to this match itself, let me talk about one thing now. Now, the one thing I want to talk about right now, originally, it was supposed to be Tessa Blanchard versus Eli Drake in this intergender match. Except for one thing. Eli Drake refused to participate, basically to participate in the intergender match. So here's the word I heard so far. During the time a match was booked between Eli Drake and Tessa Blanchard at United We Stand. So, however, Eli Drake didn't want to wrestle her, basically criticizing the intergender wrestling. And after that, after his comments on April 7th, Impact Wrestling had decided to terminate Eli Drake off his contract with them, and he is departed of the company. So that's right, folks. Eli Drake is no longer on the contract with Impact Wrestling because he refused to be part of the intergender match with Tessa Blanchard for United We Stand, and on top of that, making comments criticizing intergender wrestling. Now, the thing about that is, if he didn't want to be if he didn't want to participate in the match with Tessa Blanchard, that's fine. It's his choice. But what I don't agree with Eli Drake here is that he decided to criticize, intergender wrestling. Now, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, especially when it pertains to WWE. Maybe because of the sponsorships, which I think is Mattel, the toy action figure company for that WWE or sponsors that had their sponsorships that they'll approve to intergender wrestling, which is why we can't get Nia Jax versus Dean Ambrose, not even on that house show they did. They try to advertise that at one point, and I'm pretty sure they was going to advertise that one for WrestleMania as well, but we'll never know anyways. But anyways, the point is, so Eli Drake is not a fan of intergender wrestling based on him criticizing it, which it led to Impact Wrestling decided to terminate Eli Drake off his contract. So yeah, he's no longer in the company because of that. So I guess whenever the tapings ended from where Impact Wrestling is going to be at from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, with Eli Drake and Eddie Edwards teaming up. Whenever that taping was ended, during their time in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, wherever that end up being next, Eli Drake will not be on there because he's gone. Now, how they're gonna write him off of Impact Wrestling, I don't know how they're gonna write him off, but they'll think of something. They gotta figure something out for that one. But Eli Drake is gone. He's gone from the company because of the comments that he made criticizing intergender wrestling. Now, at least I'll give credit where credit's due here to Glenn Gilberti, the Disco Inferno. Now, what he was doing on TV, it was him being a character criticizing women's that they should be in wrestling and everything, right? So I will give him credit for at least getting in the ring and agreeing for this intergender match that he had with Scarlett Bordeaux from Against All Odds. And Tessa Blanchard has done a lot of intergender wrestling matches too, with like a Brian Cage, and then with one with Joey Ryan from last week, and among others. Even Kiera Hogan has done a lot of intergender wrestling matches too. Also, you got Ali doing that as well. Rosemary, I believe, at one point did it at one point. Even Taya Valkyrie from Lucha Underground, Eva Lee's sexy star. Just to name a few. But the point is, folks, either if you don't like intergender wrestling, if you don't want to be in an intergender wrestling match, that's fine. But if you criticize it, in a company that do intergender wrestling, don't criticize it because you will be released with a contract for that. And look what happened with Eli Drake. It's unfortunate that Eli Drake has to be released with his contract. I had to sign a new contract since last year. And now he's gone. Now he can still have the name of Eli Drake, but if he's one of those people that doesn't support intergender wrestling, well, there's one place to go for that one, and that's WWE. So Eli Drake, if you do go to WWE, good luck to you, man. Hope you don't get buried by WWE because look what happened with EC3. So wherever Eli Drake decides to go, the one place that he has no choice but to go to, where it pertains to not supporting intergender wrestling, that's WWE. So yeah, Drake, good luck to you. If you do decide to go back to WWE, just hope you don't get buried. And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. So with that out of the way, so instead of Eli Drake being the ones facing Tessa Blanchard, Joey Ryan decided to accept that offer to face Tessa Blanchard for in this intergender match. Now here's the thing with Joey Ryan, I hate him. I hate his character. I hate his penis move. The dick flip over, whatever they call it, the penis flip over bullshit. I hate it. I skip his entrance. I didn't want to see his dick flip move that he did to Tessa Blanchard. Now, as far as the match was, besides the whole grab the penis thing that Tessa Blanchard did, I thought the match was decent. And the best part of this match was that Tessa Blanchard won the match, which is good. So, yeah, I didn't care about the dick flip that much because I don't give a fuck about that. That's insulting my intelligence. That has nothing to do with wrestling. That's not wrestling. It's stupidity. That's what it is. But if people like it, I don't get why you like it, but whatever. And so I skipped that part, and I also did and I heard what Don Callis said on commentary what pertains to that. I'm gonna thank God I didn't hear that part. So I'm gonna pretend that whatever he said there, I never heard from it. So there you go. Rich Swann defends his Impact X Division Championship against Flamita. And match itself, I thought it was pretty good. A pretty good X Division match, and and coming to the match, I knew that which one was going to lose, and sure enough, he won the match. But still pretty good. Both guys looked good in the match. Flamita and Rich Swann looked pretty good in the match, so I enjoyed it. Then we get to the Monstrous Ball match: Sami Callihan versus Jimmy Havoc, and it was just a solid Monstrous Ball match. But I still enjoyed it though. There was blood, especially when it pertains to Jimmy Havoc bleeding. Sami Callihan didn't bleed at all, but Jimmy Havoc, he took the blood spot instead, and I thought it was good. And then Sami Callihan wins the match. After the match, they fist bump, and there you go. There you go. Let's say about the match, I mean, here's the thing. They use staple guns, a stapler, tables, chairs, trash cans, whatever weapons they can use, on each other. It was a solid Monsters Ball match. It's not the same Monsters Ball match that we've seen in the past, but there was nowhere near good or great, but it was solid. And finally, the main event, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They're wearing some awesome armor suit that look pretty cool, by the way. Pentagon Jr. was wearing one in black, and Phoenix was wearing one in gold and whatever. And then they go up against Rob Van Dam and Sabu in this Extreme Rules tag team match. Hardcore tag team match basically. And basically it involves chairs and involves brawl. It doesn't involve tagging your partners in. It's like a tornado tag type of way. And and they also involve tables too as well. Match itself, it was a little sloppy, and basically RVD and Sabu had to keep up, because these guys are way past their prime, and Lucha Brothers had to slow down a little bit, against two old guys. Just call it as it is. Two old guys. That's still trying to relive the glory days. Um, but already he still looked good in the match though. And Sabu, he's it's Sabu. The legendary Sabu, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac. Not like we used to be before, but still. Now here's the thing, Sabu. I know what he said about Jim Ross. I don't agree to that. What he said of Jim Ross. To me, he disappointed me when he said about Jim Ross, and he shouldn't have said that. Same thing what pertains to, I believe, some comments he made about Jordan King Lawler, whatever. But it's what it's whatever. But I'm still a fan of Sabu. But I just wish he would never said those comments and everything. He could say whatever he want about Renee Young. I thought what he said about Renee Young was funny, um, but Sabu needs to chill out. He's getting old and all that, but he needs to be more wiser than that. So, but match itself, I thought it was solid too. Not the best main event match, but it was pretty solid, and the Lucha Bros won, as they should. And after the match, they all respect each other, and there you go. That was good. A good way to close up the show. The whole point of this pay-per-view is Unite We Stand. We're all promotions coming together, with Impact Wrestling to put out a very of what I thought was a good show. I mean, a solid show. I'll also say that it was a solid show. So that being said, I'm gonna go a 4 out of 10 for this show. And Tomorrow Wrestling for this show was 8 matches. And there you go. That was Impact Wrestling United We Stand. It could be available on Fight TV, or it is now is available on Twitch TV. I can say safely now, it's now available on Twitch TV as well. So that being said, folks, I'm done. Thank you for watching. It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets.